Same time I come from supermarket, I see this $13,000 a week where people are talk about is good. Now, this I want to see right here, so, $6 grand. This, we want to see right here, so, $6,000. So, may I say, if this is $6 grand, Zine,
we are pleased to announce that starting June 1, 2023, the national minimum wage will increase from $9,000 per 40-hour week to $13,000 per 40-hour week.
So here's the thing. The minimum wage was raised in 2014, 2018, and 2022. All of those instances are 4 years apart. So having raised the minimum wage in 2022, 1 year later, the government is going to raise the minimum wage again. Why do you think that is? Why would they need to raise the minimum wage 1 year later after raising it 4 years apart in previous years? Why? The government recognizes what these employers also know but refuse to admit, that the cost of living, the rate of inflation is too high to sustain a low wage economy, right? If the government does not raise minimum wage now, people will not have money to spend. Even the person who run a wholesale needs people who have money to spend. If people don't have no money in their pocket, they not buy nothing. You can't buy nothing without money. And there is already a crisis because some employers are saying that they have jobs and they can't get people to take these jobs because the pay is too low. This employer said people come in for training for 1 day or 2 weeks and then they're gone because the pay is not worth it. We place ads upon ads and people are not interested because the money cannot pay their bills. The money is for transportation and lunch. And people are not going to work for transportation and lunch. They want money that can pay their bills and buy them food and pay their rent if they need to pay rent. It's not enough to get up and go to work just to pay your lunch money and pay your bus fare and your taxi fare. It's all good and well for an employer to say, okay, well, if I raise the minimum wage, I have to let go some people. I have to raise some prices. I have to do this and that. But the economy is more than just them. Money has to keep circulating within the economy. And when people don't have money in their pockets, that is trouble for an economy. And the only reason why the government is not waiting the usual 4-year period and is raising minimum wage 1 year later is because the government recognizes this. And the employers know this. They just are used to exploiting people.
I really $13,000 minimum wage in Jamaica only make me know in the comments. Because God know, back in 2011, when I was living in Stony Hill, 2-bedroom, kitchen, living room, veranda was $15,000, right? So all people really afford life with $13,000.
Us over there.
Yeah, not even. When I tell you guys that for me to come to Jamaica right now, I can't even see myself come to Jamaica now because my US dollar cannot stretch there.
Travel warning against Jamaica right now.
I seen that too. But when it come on to money, I can't stretch my US in Jamaica anymore. Why Gina can't sit down still? But yeah. But my point is, right, the labor right, we're doing a video. Of course I'm a labor right. If you're making $13,000 now, imagine you're making $20,025. How can people live off $13,000? Is that every fortnight or every week? I'm not even sure, but that is just insane to me. But make me know if I'm getting the wrong information.
Our economy has transitioned. You can now classify Jamaica's economy as a stable economy. Our growth rate for the last fiscal year was 5.5%. Our inflation after the pandemic went as high as 11.8%. We are now down to about 6.2%, maybe a little bit lower. Our dollar has remained stable even after the fallout of the pandemic. But the one statistic that I really like to mention when I speak about the stability of the economy is our unemployment rate. Our unemployment rate continues to be low.
Jamaica is the only country in the Western Hemisphere, with the exception of Guyana, that can say, as at the end of 2022, our quarterly economic output was greater in December 2022 than the same quarter prior to COVID. Unemployment was 14% for 25 years. It's now at 4%. We raised no taxes in 6 years. We lowered GCT, the only time in history when that has happened. We have brought forth the largest increases in public sector wages. We had the single largest increase in minimum wage of 30%. There was a time that the public service was the largest employer of minimum wage. Not so anymore. Come April, the lowest rung of the lowest scale in the public service will be 30% higher than minimum wage. We are addressing contract employment in the public service. In the last 12 months, 927 doctors have been made permanent. 1,000 civilians in the police force who have been made permanent. In total, over 10,000 Jamaicans employed in the public service on contract that today are permanent. We have a social pension introduced by Jamaica Labour Party with 12,000 people in it. We introduced paternity leave in the public service, and working with Minister Charles, we will introduce to Jamaica unemployment insurance. You lose your job, you don't fall down on your face, you can get back up because the government is supporting you on a temporary basis with income. We're going to reduce the bureaucracy at the airport, reduce the bureaucracy at our ports. We're going to take a look at the threshold and the duty-free threshold. We're going to move it from $50 to $100 come next fiscal year. We are going to address the threshold when you enter the airport. It was $500. We're going to move it come April to $1,000. That is a government that
I run out of some stuff. I'm say, alright, I go to the supermarket. Grab like run out of cornflakes, sardine, egg, crackers, bath soap, tissue, toothpaste, one pack of floss, and I say, alright, I want 3 body spray. Same time I come from the supermarket, I see this $13,000 a week where people are talk about is good. Now, this I want to see right here, so, $6 grand. This we want to see right here, so, $6,000. So, may I say, if this is $6 grand, Zine, our minimum wage at $13,000 for a week, and we are living in our economy where so unstable. The people that we are work $13,000 a week, I don't feel like say oh them under pressure and them go through enough pain, because if this year right just $6,000 brother. You see me? $6,000, almost half a 13 grand that. You see me, I say alright then suppose me did I work the $13,000 a week. And me do some buy this. And fear and lunch money if you go back to work, plus the youth have to get the money, plus the woman have to get the money. Oh, the fuck would I manage? Oh, would I manage? The economy not good for we, brother. Time come, brother.